Welcome to the RV Game Changer Show with Uncle Bernie. If you're interested in RVs as a consumer, service provider, or as a manufacturer of RVs, this show is for you. Here we talk to RV experts, RV manufacturers, lifestyle influencers, service providers, charitable organizations, and component providers with a sole purpose to make RVing more fun and exciting and easier for you and your family. Please subscribe to RV Game Changer with Uncle Bernie on Facebook, Instagram, or LinkedIn. Of course, find us by searching at RV Game Changer on YouTube. Let's see what we can do to make your life better this week on RV Game Changer. Today on RV Game Changer, we'll be mixing up a little bit with a unique guest to our show. We will have the pleasure of speaking with Loretta McNary. She's a prolific streaming talk show host of the Loretta McNary Show, which includes discussions on lifestyle, health and wellness, mental health, financial literacy, relationships, fashion, beauty, fitness, travel, and all kinds of other things. Ladies and gentlemen, let us welcome Loretta McNary to the show. Loretta, thanks for being on the show.
It's a pleasure. Thank you for the invitation. I'm excited.
Oh, my pleasure. I read up a little bit about you, and I'm just really inspired to talk to you and find out more about what's going on. So, Loretta, your show sounds so inspiring. Can you tell us a little bit about what makes your show so special to your audience?
What people say to me is that although I'm on TV, I have my own show and I meet celebrities, but I'm like the girl next door. I just want to tell you everything I'm learning while I'm learning it so that you can engage with it or say I'm not interested. But the show flow is like it's lifestyle, it's entertainment, it's information, it's celebrity interviews, of course. So it's a mix of everything, like a unicorn. That's what they say.
And the information that you share with your audience, it's almost like you're just having coffee with your friends and sharing all the good news and say, hey, I learned something today and you might be interested in it.
Absolutely. That's the way it happens. My guests, they match my energy and you think I've been knowing them for years, but I'm actually just meeting them once the countdown starts. Like this morning, we had Colleen Burns on talking about Mother's Day gifts and had Gabe on this morning. He was in Malta because I learned so much just having these guests. So Malta is in Europe, of course, part of the Mediterranean area. And they have the largest, most spectacular fireworks festival in the world every year.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
I thought it would be like Tokyo or New York or something, right?
No.
In that little country, Malta. So you've had some pretty special guests on your show. Any unforgettable moments you'd like to share?
Oh, I always share this one because most people know Denzel Washington, right? And so my show was 2 years old. I get credentialed to cover a lot of award shows, but this particular one was the Image Awards in Los Angeles at the Staples Center. And I'm new, right? It's my first year. And I met a lady there who was a entertainment reporter, Leah Cash. She's in heaven now. But she's befriended me, told me the ropes, told me who to talk to, what to say. And then at the end of the red carpet, she goes, come on, grab your camera guy. I want you to meet somebody. I'm like, who? Okay. But everybody's leaving. She says, no, I already told him you're coming. And it was Denzel Washington. He gave two interviews that night, one with CNN and one with me, Loretta McNary. And I'm telling you, it was probably 10 years ago or 15, but it's like it happened yesterday. And he was so intentional, engaging. He is the man you see on there, unless it's one of those man on fire or something like that. He's like ruthless, but he is the most gracious person that you ever want to meet.
Well, that sounds really exciting. You know, it sounds like you've been mingling with a lot of stars for over the years. And what celebrity experience or story that stands out to you most? I know that's a pretty important one, but there must be another one that maybe like, hey, right up there with that one.
My first time going to the Kentucky Derby, which is happening this weekend in a few days. So I'm a newbie again on this red carpet, never been to the Kentucky Derby. I don't have a point of reference at that point. And I did not take a hat or a fascinator or gloves. I didn't know that it was a tire, right, at the Kentucky Derby. And so this lady who befriended me, took me on her wing. She actually provided the dress, the sundress. I had shoes, and she gave me a fascinator. That's when I realized what a fascinator is that little tiny hat that sits on the side of your head. And it's very chic at the Kentucky Derby, or the big hat. You can go as big as you want. And then a mint julep. So I learned while I was there. I had no idea any reference about the Kentucky Derby other than it was a international thing. People had horses. And I also learned, Bernie, a ton of celebrities are there and they have horses in races. Yes, all your favorite celebrities are at Kentucky Derby with their horse running and trying to win.
Oh, that's quite amazing. That must be such a thrill. But I've always wondered, what if you were that person sitting behind the person with the huge hat? That must kind of maybe ruin your day a little bit, I would think.
You have to move yourself. You can't like tap her on the shoulder and ask her to remove her hat or to scoot over. You literally, and that's in life, because people, she's in my way. Baby, you got to go around. Why should she move out of your way when you're the one that's blocked, not her? So you should move. And that's what they do. And plus, the celebrities and the people with the biggest hats, they have, preferential treatment. They have VIP seating. So yeah, they all have the big hats.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Oh, yeah. So that's quite fascinating. So, I was mentioning a few of the things that go on your show, like mental health and wellness and financial literacy. What are some of the topics that you find that your audience most engages with?
Of course, mental health is the thing now. We are finally having conversations about the importance and creating much needed awareness. Before, especially people in my age group, we were told not to talk about your personal life. If you were having any mental health problems, you kept it to yourself because it was looked down on, that there was something wrong with you or they were going to have you committed, right? But now I'm so grateful that people are saying, I'm not okay. And then other people saying it's not okay to not be okay. Let's talk about it. Let's get professional help. And so I do those shows and all the time. And then sometimes if the show is not necessarily about mental health, there's a way to weave that in, because everybody and mental health doesn't mean you have to take medicine for it. Sometimes it does mean that. Sometimes you're just overly stimulated or you're dealing with a lot of stress, you're overwhelmed. So that affects your mental health, and mental health issues, concerns do affect your physical body as well. So a lot of my shows, I'm all about self-awareness and self-love, self-care, while we're taking care of everybody else. So every show is pretty much going to be centered around that, even if I don't say the words mental health. So I think we should all have those conversations every day.
Oh, absolutely. And it seems to me that those topics that you do, whether it be physical fitness or beauty or travel, it's about improving your quality of life, right? And can you speak more on that? Is because the philosophy behind your show kind of encompasses so many different things that improve your quality of life.
It is. You are so on point, Bernie, and that you got that out of reading about me, because that's what I want to be known for. We cannot live a high quality of life or do the things that I think we're capable of, like travel, be super successful, take care of our families, if we, number one, are not aware of what else is out there. So that's why I love doing shows like, the show about even the parade in Ireland, right? That's the largest St. Patrick's Day parade in the world.
Oh, yeah.
And where there's a lot of race car driving, there's certain, and then I did a show in, I think it's South Carolina or North Carolina. They have the largest motorcycle gathering in the world right here in the United States, and that is in the world. So when people have more information, they can make better informed decisions about their health care, their mental health care, their finances, how they raise their children, how they govern themselves in certain situations. And though I can't cover everything within my 28 minutes, I do want to make sure that people are seen, heard, felt, and appreciate it. And that's why I don't say, well, they wouldn't like this person because who's really interested in phlebotomy, right? Who's really interested in people going to the moon, or who's interested in cars that are electric, even before they ever saw an electric car. So I just feel like I'm that person to do it, and to do it with such fun and grace and knowledge has been the secret to my success. Not just saying, I don't want to talk about that. We've literally covered probably every topic in some kind of way, shape, form, or fashion over the last 20 years that I've been on air. So
Oh, wow.
it's all about us growing, and I'm sharing as I'm learning and growing too, Bernie. I think that's also what makes me very relevant. And I love the celebrity interviews, but they are just to draw people in and to validate my skill and my show to the national brands, right? And then to people, because they say, if she can interview Tamla Mann, if she can interview this person, then she must be somebody to watch. And then at the same time, I'm feeding them information that can improve, enhance, and change their lives if they apply it.
Well, that makes a lot of sense. It seems like you're helping people fill up their toolbox with the information, the skills, and the resources that they need, to really improve their quality of life. And you're right. People don't know what they don't know until they're exposed to it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they could be missing out on this wonderful thing that they're more than qualified, or they already have the skill and talent to be able to do these things, but they don't even know that that exists out there and how to utilize it.
Yeah, I just did a show with Cindy Lee. She is the founder of National Bucket List Day. We've been talking about, they did a movie. I think Morgan Freeman and somebody else did a bucket list movie, but it was not officially a national day. So she saw, I had Ally Bank. They hosted a celebrity to talk about National Bucket List Day a couple of years ago. Cindy Lee, who is the founder on the National Day calendar, she saw it and she reached out to me. So she and I have been doing that show, and it's some crazy stuff on people's bucket list, Bernie. I'm just going to tell you. My list was crazy, but some of the people that I talk to, since they know I do that show and I'm very interested in people anyway, some of the things on their bucket list, I'm like, but I'm thinking a bucket list should have, like, I want to go and jump out of an airplane. I want to go snorkeling. I want to go skiing, something I've never done before. But some people just want to have a day off where they're not responsible for anything. That's on a person's bucket list. And that's a given. That should be, that's easy to fix to me. But to somebody who's, have a lot of responsibility and they're overwhelmed, that's a luxury. And we do take so much for granted. So I love talking about, and I don't really like to say bucket list because it's literally, what do you want to do in your life before you kick the bucket? That's why they call it bucket list, before you die. So mine is just a list of things I want to do while I live and enjoy it.
Well, that brings up the next topic. I saw on your website that you have this quote that you stand by: think positive, dream big dreams, and help others on the way. Those words are actually very beautiful. And what do they mean to you? And what's on your list?
Oh, you guys, how much time do we have? So those three phrases, it comes from me being the mother of 5 superhumans, my sons. They have taught me so much. I'm literally this woman, this version of me because of them. And every morning I would wake them up like with high energy. They're boys, right? So I'm like, wake up, wake up, wake up. And then and then I dodge to make sure not throwing a pillow at me. And then when they go out the door, I always say, have a great day, be a leader, not a follower, and help always look for the person that nobody's talking to. So these are things I've always said to them to get and to think positive. We are in control of our thoughts. And they said we get 70,000 thoughts a day or something like that in our minds. But if you think positive, that helps you to speak positive, to react positive. And does it work in every situation? No, you wouldn't have all this hatred that we have. Positive thinking can get you so far. And then I say, dream big dreams. You got to have a dream. When we were small and younger, we had this imagination that we could literally be 5 things at one time: an astronaut, a doctor, a preacher, a bus driver, a sanitation worker. We could do all of that. Don't you remember that, Bernie?
I totally do. I totally do. It's like, you had no limits on us, right? When we were kids, none whatsoever. And those limits only came like after, when the responsibilities kicked in and we got mentally bogged down. And, I find myself doing exactly what you're doing now, is trying to get back to those ways of thinking when I was younger, so I can get the energy and the positivity and, giving myself the opportunity to do things I've never done before.
Yes, because it drives us. When we have a goal in mind, it drives you. It gives you purpose, number one, which will get you out of the bed faster than a paycheck will, because you know it's rewarding, it's fulfilling, and then it helps somebody else. And I am a Jesus girl, so I say glorify God. So, but if you don't have a dream, that's pretty sad to me. Who took your dream away from you? Why did they take your dream away from you? And if you're an adult, why are you still allowing what happened years ago to take your dream away? Because there's something in all of us that can get us to that space and time where we really want to be, whether it's a millionaire status or just be debt free, or to own a particular home, drive a particular car, get a degree, or start a business, write a book. Well, that's your dream. Life is just not about going to work and paying bills. I'm sorry for people who think and feel that way. Even doing that, you should still have a dream, a goal.
Yeah, absolutely. And I agree with you 100%. I have these conversations with my friends on a regular basis. They're like, Bernie, why aren't you just like putting your feet up and chilling out? Maybe it's time to retire, or maybe it's time to, put myself out the pasture, or whatever it may be. And I'm like, I'm not done yet. I'm not done until the big guy calls me in, right? I'm going to be here the whole time, and I'm going to give it your 110%. And it's obvious that you're doing that as well. So you didn't tell me about what some of your current dreams are on your list.
Okay, I will. And the third part of that is help somebody do the same, right? Don't just keep it all to yourself. Don't learn something and don't share it. That's why while I'm learning, I'm sharing it, like how to use a cricket, how to plant an outdoor garden, how to take care of your lawn, or pay somebody to do it. So as I'm learning, or when it's revealed to me, I want to go share it, because if it changes my mentality and gives me peace and helps me, I want to do the same for other people. So that's how I say, and help someone else along the way. And so my dreams, Bernie, I have so many. So the reason why I'm on this show, you all, and share your dreams, especially with people who are not going to be envious and jealous and try to, block it or talk you out of it. So I shared a dream with Bernie. This is one of my dreams that I've been working on. It wasn't always a dream, but it became a dream with a plan. And I'm doing these multi-segments, actually creating a whole new show on outdoor living. I'm fascinated by people who go camping, who go glamping, who live in tents, who fish. Now, I don't want to fish. I only want to see a fish when it's already cleaned and it's hot on my plate, right? And so, but I know there's a huge population of people who love to fish. So I want to make sure that I'm bringing information that can help them, and also celebrate that they love to fish, whether it's deep sea fishing or fly fishing or whatever it is. And also, RVing. That RV lifestyle, Bernie, I'm fascinated. I'm totally sold out on it. And I want to not only celebrate the people that are currently doing it, but I want to provide so much energy around this topic and so much information that everybody says, I want to do that. Whether I do it full-time, part-time, or on the weekend, I want to own an RV, because that's good living. It doesn't have to be expensive. I'm going to show you how to do it on a budget. I'm going to reach out to manufacturers and retailers and owners of RVs. I'm going to reach out to people who have these RV parks and retreats and centers, those who are currently RVers and those who are thinking about it. Bernie, this is crazy. This is how God works, though. I had a call that I took because it was one of my dear friends. And I said, well, I'm getting ready to go on a show with Bernie. We're going to talk about my new show, RV Lifestyle and Outdoor Living. She says, you know what? I'm looking at a J-code. It's $35,000, but my husband is not sold on it completely yet. So I'm having these conversations with, and then there's a huge community on social media of all this, and nobody's telling these stories. You are, Bernie. You're doing a fantastic job. But I just feel like partnering with you or collabing with you and the girl camper people you told me about.
Oh my
people
gosh,
need to know.
so wonderful.
So my people are going to know about you. Your people are going to know about me, and we're all going to know that we have options, right?
Absolutely. And, as you're talking, I'm thinking of how many other people I could introduce you to along the way, because there's just so many people, and RVers are very enthusiastic. They're very passionate about what they do. And, they get out of bed, like you say, they're not looking for the paycheck first. They're looking at, how they're going to reach their goals to meet their dreams, and it's just so exciting, and everyone is so interesting. And, like, for instance, the backdrop behind me today, I'm not in this, $750,000 motorhome, but I was a couple of days ago, and I wanted to share that picture with you. But it's so exciting, all the products out there. And you're right, you can do it on a budget, or you know what? Some folks have been saving their whole lives working for others' benefits and haven't really given themselves a chance to treat themselves to something special, right? And these trips, I mean, you hear about them all the time. That can be any one of us can do these trips, and you don't have to do it in $1 million motorhome. You could do it on a $15,000 travel trailer, tow it with your daily driver, and go around the country and make a plan. There's great apps out there. We're going to talk about so many different things that are going to help and give the people the resources that they need, just like you do for personal well-being. You know, well, together as a collaborator, we can do it, you know, to make sure that they get that for RVing as well.
You know what? And that's the whole idea, is to research and share and meet and connect, so I can share it via television and social media, so people have access to it and have. I'm telling you, it's a huge community. Most every state, doing my research, there is a RV park or RV retreat place or center. And some of them are just basic. And then some are super elaborate with pools and saunas and golf courses and everything you could think of in a 5-star like hotel, but you're in your RV and you can bag that baby in and have all access to a picnic table. It depends on where you're going and what you really need as an RVer. But I want to share that. I want to celebrate the people that are currently doing it. And I want to just really light fires to people who said they wanted to do it. Because Bernie, what I realized after I started talking about this, that it reminded me that growing up, my dad had this trailer camper thing on his truck, and we would go to Nashville. And we went to Nashville in this thing. It had 2 beds on the side of it. Now, this is when I was a young girl. But me and my brother and sister were in the back, and we traveled in this thing a lot. And I'd forgotten all about it. So I'm right where I should be. I'm full circle now. And, you know, my mom was a stay-at-home mom. So my dad did all of this. He fixed this camper up. It was comfortable. It was functional. My mom made sure she was into home decor before it became a big thing, and just making sure it looked really beautiful on the inside. So I want to share that with people. And like you said, you can get a camper and just pull it behind your car. You just got to know the tonnage and the weight that your car can pull and making sure it fits within that. There's so many different kinds of RVs. There's the small ones, the really huge ones that, you know, almost $1 million one that you're in. There's some on sale now because people are retiring. They don't want to do it anymore. So it's a way to do it. I think it's way more affordable than buying a house if you don't want to go through all of that. But you have an RV, there are places to park it, and there's people who hold your hand and show you, you know, the pros and cons, what to do, what not to do. So I can't wait to start it and kick it off.
There's so many resources out there. And one thing I can stress to your audience is that RVing is not like living in the city, or it's not like living in a really tight neighborhood. And the reason I say that is that in the RV industry, everybody at the campground becomes your friend or potential friend. Right?
It's community.
And everyone is very open. You're not afraid to say hi to somebody. You're not afraid to go pet someone's dog and break into conversation. Or, you know, I went camping a couple of weeks ago, and there was a guy in the camper next to me. He's new to RVing, and he was asking me some questions about his propane system and this and that. And yeah, that's what we do. And because of the experience I had, I was able to give them some good advice and some suggestions that would make things a little bit safer and more convenient for them, or whatever it may be. But RVers do that all the time. If they see you having trouble backing up into a campsite, they might say, would you like a beer? You just give me a car keys. I'll help you with that. You can have this beer while you watch me do this, right? Or you could learn from me, or sit in the passenger seat, and I'll tell you what I'm doing and what I'm thinking, how to make this thing back up properly. So there's so many kind folks, and you could be right next to a camper like the one that I'm in right now, and you could be in a $20,000, $15,000 trailer right next to it. And I've even taken video of side by side. And I said, I bet those folks are best of friends. And the likelihood is that they are. So
I know I'm excited to share. Like I said, fascinating is not even the right word. Whatever word is more than being fascinated with a subject. And I love what I'm currently doing. And so this was just being an additive of it, because it's an option for people. And I'm not necessarily that outdoor girl, because I'm going to still look like this while camping and glamping and
We'll see.
my tent it has to be pink and all that stuff. So I just wanted to when I start going to the retailers and the manufacturers, I'm like, well, where's the girls' stuff? But I want to make sure the guys have their stuff too. I'm not even, like you said, the backing it in and what the square footage of it is. And it's just amazing. You can cook in the RV, or you can cook outside of it, what to pack and how to, where can you stay all day? Where do you keep it? If your neighborhood or your HOA says you can't keep it there are places that you can store your RV or your camper. So I'm just excited. And then glamping. I love glamping over camping, right? But that's just my personal preference. I'm still going to talk about, camping and being in a tent or a cabin with no Wi-Fi and nothing. You just out there in the barest of necessities. Because again, people love that.
Well, they like that disconnect, right? To be able to separate themselves from their day-to-day. And you see that a lot, folks, there were some people I saw, with their cell phones and this and that. And some people were just hanging back, drinking their coffee, sitting by the campfire and having a quiet discussion with their spouse, and those discussions you don't always have time for, right?
Just enjoy life. That's my biggest message. Because life is hard. And sometimes around that corner, it will just knock you off your feet with the things that you have to start going through. So that's why it's so important for me to uplift people, to say, I see you, I hear you. Let's just try this. I want people to do more, to see more, to say more, to experience more, to go more. I want them to do all of that, more of it. And I even have bankers on, real estate gurus and travel and investors, to show you how you can take your current paycheck and do a lot more than you ever thought possible without going. And then, all debt is not bad debt. If you have to get a loan to do this, get it. It builds your credit up, and it's just a good lesson to teach the entire family about how to manage this. But I don't like it. It brings me so much sadness is when people are just living and going to work. Just living and going to work. They don't do anything else to enjoy their lives. So I just want people to dream again. Remember when you were younger and you had all these goals and dreams that you were going to do when you grew up? Well, you can still do it. As long as you're still here and you're breathing. Maybe you said, well, my health is not as great as it used to be, or I have to walk with a walker or a cane or something like that. Well, honey, you're moving though. You can just take your time. Just take your time and go try it first. Go rent something. There are rental places where you can rent an entire RV. You can go rent it. You don't have to pull out, right, Bernie? And so Bernie's going to walk me through it, because he's been in this industry a while. So he knows all the tricks and the trades of this thing. So it is accessible to anybody who wants to do it. It can be more affordable. We're going to show you how. We're not going to put a carrot out there and say, ooh, I'll put you in a candy store and tell you can't buy it. I'm going to show you how. And I'm going to show you why you should do it. Yeah, I'm going to be everywhere in everybody's RV.
That's right. So just like the dealership where I work where I work at, I don't just hand people the keys and say good luck. We usually spend several hours with them kind of going over the ins and outs, but you're going to do it in a different way. You're going to set them up to have a better comprehension of the whole lifestyle before they even go and get one. So that's fantastic.
Yeah. And I'm going to talk to people who are currently RVers all over the country. You're going to see me at somebody's RV retreat or park or whatever. I'm very curious by nature. That person is always asking, why do you do this? And why is that? And why can't you do this? And what, so that people can find something and grab a hold of it. It's not, I need another show. I don't. It's that I want to niche this one because it's outdoor living. It's even at your own home. Let's make your backyard an oasis for you. Whether you spend $5,000 or $50, let's make a place for you to go outside to get the vitamin D, the fresh air, and to be safe and enjoy it, and make it accessible for you and affordable. But you deserve that. You all deserve that.
Loretta, sounds like you're well on your way to help people find their way So that's so
Yes,
exciting,
I
so
like that.
so magnificent, and I'm really happy for you, and I'm really happy to be associated with you because it's really important work, right?
It
It's
is.
about, you find when you go camping, your blood pressure is just going to come down naturally.
It
Just
will.
staring at that campfire and make that your 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 computer screen for the day. Like you're there out there just enjoying that, and it's such a healing time when you're out there in nature, breathing the fresh air. You're with friends and you're smiling and relaxing, and you're not thinking about day-to-day responsibilities and things. It's like, okay, do I have a beer now or should I cook a hamburger? Like those are the biggest
Mhm.
decisions you have to make while you're out there, right? So it's a
Yes,
wonderful thing.
it is. It is. And I want people to at least try it. Like I said, rent one, lease one, borrow one, or go on a trip with a friend who has one. There are communities all over the place for that as well. So you don't know what you don't know, as you said earlier, Bernie, and you can miss what you never had, because if you leave this earth and you're unfulfilled, that's a sadness that I don't think the only antidote to it is to live your life while you have your life to live.
God
Yeah.
bless you, Loretta. It's been an absolute pleasure having you on RV Game Changer. I can't wait to see how this all turns out. We're going to have you back so we can play some segments and this and that on the show. And lastly, tell our listeners a little bit about how they can get a hold of you.
All right. My life is so public, and if anybody's looking for me, they can easily find me for good or bad. I'm on all social media, and everything is under my name, and that's my website. Thank you, Bernie, for that. LorettaMcNary.com. It's Loretta McNary or Loretta McNary Show on all social media, LinkedIn, TikToks. I'm on every one of them. My team has made sure I'm everywhere that eyeballs are. So that's what you have to do when you have a business and you have a message of joy and inspiration and motivation and encouragement. People got to have access to it in order to enjoy it. So, Bernie, but thank you so much for doing this. I appreciate it. I've enjoyed every second.
Me too. Have a great day and God bless.
God bless you too.
Today's episode of RV Game Changer is brought to you by RVing Today TV. If you're looking for RV Game Changer or anything to do with RVing and camping, you'll bet you'll find it on RVing Today TV. Visit rvingtoday.tv, where you'll find a list of stations and networks carrying their shows, along with additional stories, news, and contests. To get a hold of me, go to RV Game Changer on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, or LinkedIn. Have a great day and God bless.